Okay, cool. All right, you guys. So happy Tuesday. Thank you guys. And I'm so excited that you guys are hopping on and checking this out with us today. This is just super simple, super casual. We really just want this to be an opportunity for you to get your questions asked and answered and feel no pressure. We want to break it down super simple. I want you to walk away from this. This is my goal for you, is to walk away from this at the end of this call with zero questions. Knowing if this is a good fit for you. Okay. So, really quick, I want to give you guys just a little bit of like a quick little backstory about me, because I never thought that I would be somebody that would be successful in this space. So, my name's Ashley. I'm a stay-at-home mama now. I have 3 kiddos, and now I get to be home with them 24/7. When I first heard about this, though, I had 15 years experience in healthcare. I was a nurse. I was working crazy long 12-hour shifts. My husband is a blue collar worker. And this has completely changed our lives. And I know that sounds dramatic. I know it sounds cliche, all the things, but I'm going to walk you through and show you exactly how. Um, when I heard about this, I called myself, like, I was stressy, depressy, hot, messy. Like, that's who I was. That was like my slogan. I was the mama that was checking my bank account every single day before I even got out of bed. I was fixating on like my financial anxiety. I didn't feel like a good mom. I felt like I was stretched too thin. My husband and I were stuck in that roommate phase, constantly nagging each other about money. And it just sucked, but that's all that I knew, right? And then the last straw for me was baby number 3, the baby that we had just had, needed a medical procedure done that insurance didn't cover. And straight up, I felt like a failure. I felt like garbage. And I vowed right then and there to never be in that position again. I had no idea what I was going to do. To me, all I knew was if things get tight, I go get another job. I pick up extra overtime. I do night shifts. I do holidays. My oldest daughter's 6 years old, and I missed the first 4 Christmases of her life because I was always the one to volunteer trying to get that extra like holiday pay that came with it. So that's what I thought that was going to look like when I vowed to never be stuck in that position. And let me tell you guys, like, from that moment of me feeling like a failure as a mom, like burnt out, stressed beyond belief, and I'm sitting there scrolling on my phone, and I see somebody post on Facebook, and this is exactly what it said. She said, just made $5,000 while out of the country on vacation with my husband. And you guys, I got so angry. I got mad. I got jealous. I got defensive, all of these feelings. And all I could think was, must be nice. Like, good for you, right? Like, here I am busting my butt, working crazy 12-hour shifts. I'm exhausted. I feel like a failure. And you're on vacation making thousands and thousands of dollars. Where did I go wrong? Have you guys ever felt that? And like at that point, we did not even have an emergency fund. Like like heaven forbid we got a flat tire, we would have been, screwed. Like obviously when it came to my son's medical procedure, we just didn't have it. Um, and so I saw that and I was like, what the heck? Like, must be nice. And here I am, you guys, almost 2 years later. This was in September of 2023. So almost 2 full years later to tell you that it is nice. It is really nice. And every single one of you deserves that. And so I'm going to break it down and show you exactly how it works, because I swallowed my pride and I reached out to her that same day and I said, all right, like, hook a sister up. Like, what is this? Because I can't keep doing what I'm doing anymore. Something's got to give, and this ain't it. So she told me it's digital marketing. And I said, pump the brakes, I'm out. Like, that did not sound like anything that I wanted any part of. When you guys hear the words digital marketing, what do you think? To me, like, drop it in the chat, you guys. I'm super curious. To me, when I heard digital marketing, I heard that sounds techie. That sounds time consuming. That sounds like you need to be this cutesy put together influencer and have thousands of followers and be glued to your phone, right? That's what I thought. And I couldn't be more wrong. Bethany thought it sounded over my head. Ashley said it sounded like I needed a degree. Aspen says like you need followers. Yes, all of these things, right? I feel like that's so common to think this. And so I want to break this down for you. We're going to go right into what is digital marketing. First of all, you guys, this might surprise you at how simple this truly is. But what is digital marketing? Here's the thing. I guarantee at least 95% of you that are watching this are already doing this, are already doing digital marketing. You're just not making any money off of it. Okay. So let me know in the comments, in the chat, drop me the word me if you've ever done anything like this. Have you ever been like on Pinterest and shared something on your Facebook and been like, oh my gosh, this looks good? Or sent it to your bestie and been like, next time we get together, we have got to try this recipe. Or posted a review of a movie on your Facebook and been like, hey, we just went and saw this. It was so good. It wasn't too scary for the kids. Or maybe a new restaurant. Hey, this place just opened up. You have got to try this burger with this drink. They had live music, anything, right? A book. I just finished this book. It's my 5-star review. Or even if you post like a selfie and someone's like, oh my gosh, I love your dress. And you're like, thanks, it's got pockets. I got it from Target, right? Like, I feel like we've all done that. Jeremiah's laughing. He probably hasn't done that one. But right, we do those things. Do you know what that is? We're digitally marketing things for someone else and we're making zero money, right? Whether it's a restaurant, we're digitally marketing their service, whether it's the dress, that's a product, whether it's a downloadable book on Kindle, right? That's a digital product that we are marketing and making zero money off of, okay? So in this case, what we do and how we're making money off of this is by marketing these digital products that somebody else created and gives you master resale rights to. And that means that every time you sell it, you make 100% profit. Okay. So imagine if every time you shared that Pinterest recipe and somebody wanted to make that recipe, you made money off of it. Okay. That's what this is. So we have 4 digital products here that somebody else created. And there's options with this. And we're going to dive into this a little bit deeper. You're not limited to this, but to me, this was really appealing to me, right? Because I didn't want to go out and like create my own product that may or may not work. Okay. I wanted to see something that was already created and was already making people money. I didn't want to waste my time guessing or stressing if what I was going to put my time into was going to be successful or not. So knowing that these are already selling for thousands of people, making thousands of people thousands of dollars, that was like a breath of fresh air to me. Like it was like the peace of mind. Okay. So I'm going to turn it over to Bethany here. I'm going to let her chat a little bit because she's going to break down. You've probably heard us talking about this, the 2-hour workday and the piece of this that gives you your freedom back. Okay. So I just wanted you to know how, like what exactly a digital marketing product is. In this instance, these 4 products that we promote is in the education space. There are so many people right now that are looking for ways to make money online, and that's exactly what this is. I think of it as like different tiers of going to school, right? Like different degrees that you can get in college. The longer you go, the more money you make, the more skills that you learn. So this is different levels of education for how to create content, how to market, how to promote, how to master email marketing, have an email system working for you, all of the things so that you can successfully make money online selling digital products or whatever it is that you want. You're not limited to these digital products. Okay. I'm going to let Bethany chat here and we're going to pass it back and forth a little bit and then we will open it up and let you guys ask questions at the end too.
All right, everybody. Thanks for sharing your Tuesday night with us. If you have never seen me before, my name is Bethany. I came here as a stay-at-home mom. I've been a stay-at-home mom for almost 12 years now at the end of this month. And while that is amazing and such a blessing, being a family and living off of one income in today's world is really, really difficult. And we've had our highs, we've had our lows, but what really pushed me into this space was after hustling for years of whether it was doing the crazy couponing. Do you guys remember hi Ashley? Do you guys remember the extreme couponing show on TLC back in the day where they had the binders and they had the crazy stockpiles? I didn't have that crazy of a stockpile, but I had the binder and I had a small stockpile because that helped us out financially to be living off of one income so that I could be there with my kids. So I'm not afraid to work. I'm not afraid to hustle to provide for my family. I've tried an MLM. I've done the craft business out of my house. I've babysat. I've cleaned for people. I've never been, honestly, just a stay-at-home mom. And after watching people talk about making money online, I Googled it, I YouTubed it, I tried to figure it out on my own, okay, because I did not want to invest. I was the last person that wanted to spend any kind of money on something. And what I really realized was I was alone. Okay. I was alone and I had zero confidence. I do not know about you guys, but I'm an introvert. Do I have any other introverts on here? I when I told my husband about this, he honestly laughed, okay, in a nice way, just because he knows, like, I'm the quiet, shy girl that sits in the corner and doesn't talk. I stand next to him and he blabs and will talk to anybody and everybody, and I'm just like the penguins, right? Smile and wave, boys, smile and wave. Like, that was me. Like, he knew this was not my norm. And I looked at him and I told him, I said, his favorite saying, to get something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. And this was so far to my comfort zone. I had never made videos, I had never talked online. And I said, I'm going to try it because at the end of 2023, we were tapped financially. We live on a farm here in Missouri. We're trying to be first generation farmers, and that is not for the faint of heart. Okay, that is not. We were struggling between inflation, between 2 years of a drought on our farm. We decided to sell off 80 acres of our farm to put us in a better situation, so we weren't so strapped financially. And that was the last straw for me. That was the moment that I was just like, I felt like a failure. I felt like I failed my husband. I felt like I could have been doing more, right? Maybe if you would have started this a year ago, type of thing. But in all reality, you guys, I'm a firm believer of everything happens for a reason. And it took that happening to get me here. Okay. And I might share in just a little bit how this has come full circle and how crazy life really is. But I came here thinking I had to have a huge following. I think I saw Aspen said that he thought he needed a big following, right? You don't have to have that. I did not have to have a big following. I don't have to have a ton of views. I didn't have to have any experience, some big fancy degree. I didn't even have to share it with friends and family. How many of you are like, yeah, I would love to do something like this, but I don't want anybody to know? Okay. I did this for 2 months and I didn't tell anybody but my husband. I made a brand new TikTok account and I just started posting videos. Messy. Okay. Super messy. Talking really slow, not talking and acting like I'm acting right now. Okay. Because 17 months ago, I was totally different in front of the camera, and you will be too, friends. You will grow, you will get better. So I want you to know right now, don't compare yourself right now where you're shaking in your boots, all nervous and scared, okay, to where Bethany's at 17 months in, because I was in those shoes. I talked slow, my editing was terrible. I didn't even look at the camera half the time in my videos. And I would sit on my lives and stuff like that, and I would sweat, you guys, and I could have went in the other room and thrown up. It was terrible, okay? But in showing up every day, I got better. I got more comfortable. I said I came here with zero confidence, right? And the thing is, being here every single day, you're going to get better. I'm not going to say you're going to get perfect because I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect, but I'm a dang lot better than I was when I started, okay? So just remember to give yourselves that grace, okay? I'm going to talk to you guys about two things. First is going to be the 2-hour workday that we all love, because how many of you need something flexible? Put me in the comments. Okay, guys, if you need something flexible, maybe you're a crazy busy mom like me. We've got 4 kids running around and it is crazy all the time between church and racing and the list goes on and on, birthday parties and all this stuff, right? Me. You guys see, that is what's the number one thing. And when I came here, I was so scared before I really looked into it because I thought it was going to require a lot of time. Everything I was looking into and trying was 8 hours a day, with the headset on phone, answering calls, helping people. No, okay, it's 2 hours a day that you can break up however works best for you. So there's 3 parts to it, okay? First part of your day is going to be a daily video from our multi-millionaire mentor, okay? These are very short. These are like 3 to 10 minutes long. Can we listen to a 3 to 10 minute video a day, guys? Okay. These walk you through and equip you with what to do and take action on every single day to work your way to your goals. Okay. Can we talk about goals really quick too? I love to see y'all's goals. Can you tell me what your goals would be in the comments? I don't care what it is. Okay. Some people's, for me, it was to pay our mortgage. Okay. So it was about $900 to $1,000 a month was what I wanted when I came here. Didn't do that my first month. I'll be real with y'all. Okay. But I've done it 16 of the 17 months that I've been here. And it has been the biggest blessing for my family to do that and to take that biggest burden, that biggest bill away from my husband. Okay. And to allow him to breathe a little bit and have more time with us. Okay. Hey, look at all those guys. I absolutely love that. Those are amazing, amazing goals. Okay. So that's your first part of the day. Listen to that video. Maybe you're getting up and getting dressed for the day. Maybe you're on your way to your work. Maybe you're fixing your kids' breakfast. Okay. Listen to that video. Okay. Second part of your day, 3 videos. Okay. These are not difficult. Do not overthink these. Okay. We can definitely get in our heads and overcomplicate a lot of things in life. Do not do that with this. This program is going to equip you with how to create these videos, what to say, how to share your story. And in the way that we post, it's called attraction marketing. You are going to bring your customers right into the palm of your hand. Okay. You don't have to slide into their DMs. You don't have to bug friends and family. You post on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, TikTok, Lemonade, high traffic websites. There are endless places to post and it's free. We don't pay for ads. We don't pay to post our stuff online. So in that way, we make that one-time investment and there's no reoccurring anything. Okay. So that one-time investment was the best investment I could ever make, the best return I've ever made on any type of investment I've ever made as well. But those videos can be short, 7 seconds of just drinking your drink and throwing some words on the screen and a sound. Okay. 30 seconds to a minute of talking. And like I said, the program's going to teach you exactly how to do that. Okay. The last part of your day. This part is optional, but we do always recommend it or working your way to it. Okay. And it's going live. It's that scary L word because a video, that's a lot safer, right? You can edit it. You might stumble over your words and you can edit that out. Maybe you can use filters and all these different types of things. But like a live is real and raw. And what if I stumble over my words and, all those things? I think the biggest thing that gave me, it was quite a few months into this journey. The girl that I purchased from was doing a training in our community. And she said that at the beginning, her lives, y'all, she's like a big bubbly burst of energy. And I would never in a million years have pictured this from her. But she said when she would do her lives in the beginning, people would come on there and ask her questions, and she would get so nervous and scared, she would completely exit out of the live. Like just end it immediately because she was so scared and nervous. And y'all, she is amazing. And looking at her now, you wouldn't even think that. But that just shows you everybody starts somewhere. So again, give yourself that grace. Show up and go for 5 minutes. Show up and go for 20 minutes. Show up and go for an hour. Show up and go for whatever is best for you starting out. Okay. And even if you do it not going live for a while, work your way up to it. We just always encourage you to do that because your lives are going, for me at least, ended up being my favorite thing, even though it was the most scariest, because that's where I get to meet everybody. That's where I get to have that interaction, that connection, learn more about them. And as a stay-at-home mom who didn't have a social life and all that, coming and doing those lives, it is just like such a breath of fresh air to get to have that interaction with all these people. Okay. Now, my absolute favorite part of this whole entire thing is our automated system. And you guys might not understand what an automated system is. Put not yet in the comments if you have no idea what I'm talking about, because that was gibberish to me when I started. But I'll tell you right now, I can probably guarantee every single one of you on here is part of an automated system. I know for a fact every single one of you is because you're in one of ours, right? You're in me or Ashley's, whoever invited you here tonight. And you're probably maybe in Amazon's and Children's Place and the Foot Locker, if they're even still open. I don't know. Like all these different businesses across the world have automated systems. You go shopping, you buy anything, and they ask for your email. Okay. This automated system is what brings sales in for you while you're sleeping. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. While you're living your life and doing what works best for you, while you're on vacation, while you're at your full-time job. You plug in that 2 hours a day, however works best for you. Guys, mine is literally 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, an hour there during laundry, dishes, nap time, sitting in the car pickup line, on a walk, sitting on the back porch watching my kids play. Okay, that is how flexible it is. You can fit it into any schedule. And don't think just because right now me and Ashley are stay-at-home moms that you can't do it with a full-time job, because we have people in our community who don't only have one full-time job, they have 2 jobs. Okay. We had a lady in our community that started this with 2 jobs as a single mom. You think she could have made every excuse in the book not to have done this? She turned those excuses into her why. All right, guys. And within 10 weeks, quit her jobs, both of them. Okay. And got to be the mom that she wanted to be. So don't forget that. But that automated system, people scroll across you, your videos, your posts, your lives, whatever. They want more information. They go to your link, right? Usually we have it in our bio, or you can send it in a direct message or whatever. They go there, they put their email in. That system sends emails for you. You set it up one time, step by step, beginner friendly instructions. Okay. They're pre written, it's already ready to go. They send automatically. So as soon as that first email is sent, they have it at their fingertips. They can get started immediately. Some people do. Some people scroll across us and go, boom, immediately get started. But some people, okay, this is where I come here to set you up with realistic expectations and to help you be successful. Because some people come here and they think, oh, yeah, I'm going to come and make $5,000 my first month. Does that happen for some people? Yes. But does it happen for everybody? No. And we can't guarantee that. And it didn't happen for me. It took me 28 days to make my first sale. Okay. I made $50 my first month. People are going to get in that email list and they're going to need time. Their life's going to happen. They're not going to check their email for weeks. They're going to have a breaking point when they finally decide to ask you a question or get started. And it might be 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 days later. Okay. So when people make it here 1 month and they're like, I haven't made a single penny yet. This doesn't work for me. I'm no good. I'm gone. Doesn't, not whatever. They're literally failing themselves and they're failing the people that are already in their email list by giving up because those people in their email list just haven't had enough time to build that connection and that trust with them. So that is where you have to give yourselves grace. Okay, friends, you have to give your potential customers some grace as well. But that automated system has allowed me to make sales while I'm standing in line to ride a roller coaster, while I'm putting my kids to bed, while I'm sleeping, while I was on a 14-year anniversary trip with my husband having lunch, right? And to finally pick up my phone and get in the car and realize I made $900 while we were having lunch and it paid for the whole trip. And I can't even explain to you guys how that feels. And it hasn't gotten old. Okay. It has never gotten old for the 17 months that I've been here. I could cry every time that it happens. And Ashley says all the time, like she wishes that our feelings were a jacket and we could take it off and put it on you guys because y'all would do it. Y'all would show up. Y'all would make it happen to keep feeling that and to not have that stress and that worry on you anymore about checking the bank account and about having that safety net, right? So don't give up. When you get started, do not give up, my friends. And we will be here to help you every single step of the way. Okay. Ashley is going to be talking to you next, you guys, about what are you actually getting? Because that's probably the biggest question that we have. What am I buying? Okay.
And I love that too. Like Bethany said, I had no idea that what automations were, that I needed them. When people said like email automations, oh, you'll get this automated email funnel. I thought, I don't know, it reminded me of like old school dial up internet. Like I thought, no, that's not something I need. But like she said, I've literally now made $900 on a field trip with my daughter, $900 on date night. I've woken up in the morning and had $1,200 made in my sleep. So having that now that I've experienced it, it's literally no matter what type of business I have, it is a like key piece of this that I will not do without. So what are you actually buying? And I know I touched on this a little bit, but like I said, there's 4 different options, 4 different levels that you can get started at, but 4 different levels of education. And like Bethany said, we use attraction marketing. Okay. So nowhere along this are you taught like they teach you in the MLMs. Have you guys ever done any of those? Like, let me know in the comments. I've done so many. The makeup, the health and wellness, the press on nails, the whitening toothpaste, the protein powder, like you name it. I tried it just to make an extra buck. And there's nothing wrong with them, okay? But to me, the way that they coached me, it felt really disingenuous. It felt really unauthentic to me and it felt cringy. Like it just wasn't natural for me to slide into people's DMs and be like, hey girl, I know I haven't talked to you in like, 7 years, but will you host a party? Will you check out my mascara? Like it just didn't feel authentic. So the cool thing with this, you guys, when I started this, my initial goal with this was to make an extra. This is crazy because back then I thought this was a silly little pipe dream. I wanted to make an extra $600 a month. If I could figure that out, it was going to pay my daughter's school tuition and pay my car payment. And now I'm having 10K months on repeat. Okay. And the coolest, I'm telling you this for a reason, because the coolest part about that is that every single dime of what I have made has been completely authentic, organic, like attraction marketing. Never once have I had to slide into anybody's DMs and be like, hey, I'm so close to my goal. Hey, I think you'd love this. Hey, I think you'd be great at this. None of that. Okay. So these 4 different levels, what we teach you is different techniques for how to create content, how to market on social media. Okay. Now, the skills that you can learn from this, this is really cool to me because you can turn around as soon as you get access to this, you can turn around and you can resell this, which is great. Honestly, to me, I think that is like the definition of working smarter, not harder. I have something, I have complete access to it, and I can turn around and sell it over and over and over again, right? Without ever having to pack anything, without ever having to ship anything, and make 100% profit every single time. I think that's pretty darn cool. But you're not limited there because what you learn from these different levels of education, you can apply to anything. Okay. You can apply this. I've had people that have purchased this program because they need to learn how to market their already existing business. I've had multiple different realtors. I've had a cleaning company. I've had a massage therapist. So many different ones. A thrift store owner that needed to learn how to market, which I think is really cool. So if you already have a product or a service or a business, you can apply the skills from this that you're learning to better market and promote and get more sales to that as well. Okay. So you've got options. Sell what you've already got, sell this, or you could even create your own digital products. And I'm going to let Bethany explain that because she's the perfect example of it. But I just really loved the idea of having something that I could share with people that I feel passionately about, because what I'm sharing with people is the skills that they need to better their life. And I know that can sound like a little bit dramatic, but truly, this gave my children their mom back. Like, this pulled me and my husband out of that roommate stage. This made it possible for me to be the mom that gets to be there on Christmas with my kids. Like, that's what it's given back. And that's what I get to share with other people, is the skills that they need to make that happen for themselves. I truly wasn't here to have, like, I did not imagine 6-figure years for me in the books with this. I just wanted to take a little bit of extra weight off. And you guys, I'm gonna like give you in with full transparency, because I was someone that had 0 experience. I started a brand new account, like Bethany said, because I didn't want anybody to know what I was doing. I started a brand new account. My husband didn't even follow me on my new account. So started with 0. Okay. Within my first 2 months, I quit my job as a nurse. Within my first 6 months of doing this, I had paid off $30,000 worth of credit card debt. And within my first 12 months, I had made my first 6 figures doing this. Now, both me and my husband are home from our jobs 24/7, and getting to be those hands-on present parents that I truly never saw in the cards for people like me, right? Like, I had those limiting mindset in the beginning of people like me aren't successful in this space. And y'all, there is somebody out there, no matter who you are, no matter what your story is, waiting to relate to you and your story. So I'm going to let Bethany tell you if this is something that you are like considering, and you don't want to be limited to just like buying a program and reselling it over and over, some of the other options and something that she's doing, because hers is so exciting. I can't wait for her to finish it, but just like, so you can truly see you're not limited. Go and create your own products, create something that you're passionate about, because you can apply this to so many different things.
So I told you guys earlier that when I came here, I had 0 confidence in myself. And in showing up every single day and doing the lives and getting to talk with all the amazing moms that I was meeting in this space, not even that we're doing this, but just moms that were out there living life. You're scrolling across them, they're commenting, they're messaging you, and you get to have these conversations with them. I realized when I started this, I said all the time, like on my lives, I don't want to make my own products. I love that I came here as a burnt out stay-at-home mom that didn't have any energy. I didn't want to pour into something else. Okay. I wanted something that was quick and easy, kind of. And that was this for me, because I could plug it in and pretty much have it done by the time my kids got home from school and didn't have to worry about it. And 10 months in, I ate my words. 10 months in, I realized that I wanted to do more, and not necessarily to make more, but I wanted to help moms more. in motherhood, in their walk with Christ. So I started on a 30-day devotional for moms. I am 2 days away from finishing it. I got 2 days left to write. And I'm telling you right now, I'm sitting here proud of myself. And I wouldn't be where I'm at right now writing this because I'm not a writer. But this program, it inspired me, it taught me, it helped me get here and showing up every single day, that confidence built. And then I made the connection with all those moms and realized like I had this passion, I had this desire to help them in this area. So it doesn't matter what your desire, your passion, your hobbies are. There's a lady I scrolled across the other day, you guys. Anybody have chickens? Anybody live on a farm? Okay. This lady has chickens and she built a chicken coop and it's like an arched chicken coop. Me, I love that. And she has the plans for it. She literally makes videos, hardly any of them are talking. She'll just kind of like walk you around it, show it to you, and all these different things. And you can buy the plans from her with a YouTube video that walks you through exactly how to build it, a cut list, a material list, a printed PDF on all the instructions on how to build it. And you know what? She was selling it for $14. And I went to her site and everything. She had made over $60,000 from a $14 chicken coop plan. You guys, because she had a passion about that. She built that and said, oh, I bet other people would want to build this too. Maybe you like to crochet. Maybe you like to sew. Maybe you like to cook. Okay. There's endless opportunities here where you could make a cookbook or you could, maybe you're into health and fitness. They teach us here also how to make a community. Ashley's got a community where people pay for her coaching, for her training, and they pay monthly to be in her community. You can have that same thing set up for anything, say health and wellness, where you do so many live workouts a week with your people and you give them a meal prep list every single week with a grocery list so they know what meals to make with the recipes and everything. And let's just say they pay you $30 a month to be in your community and you're pouring into them like that. And you have how many people in your community that are paying $30 a month on repeat over and over and over again? Do you see where you can create an income in so many different ways for this? Not to mention, you'll have your website, you'll have a funnel, you'll have that email automated system for that business as well. The opportunities are so endless. And when you get in here and you meet all the people and you see what everybody's doing, your wheels get to run, you start to be inspired, you start to get more comfortable and confident. And before you know it, you're doing something you didn't think you would do. So don't be overwhelmed by what I'm telling you, but maybe be inspired and have a little spark inside of you that is like, okay, this is really out of my comfort zone, but I would love to get started and be able to create extra income for my family. And I love that there's a possibility that I can grow with it because it's at your own time, it's at your own pace, and it's at your own desire. Because every single person that comes here, it's up to them. When you make that investment, that's the right that you get to resell it, okay? To go do with it what you want. But no matter what, you have to learn from it. To be able to sell it, you have to learn from it. And that's something we won't sugarcoat either, okay, friends? Is that I refer to it as like a gym membership. None of us are going to go spend money on a gym membership and come home and sit on the couch and lose 10 pounds by doing that. We have to go to the gym. We have to do what the personal trainer tells us to do. We have to eat right, right? So you have to do the same thing. We can't drive the car for you here, but we'll ride in the passenger seat. We'll cheer you along and be like, whoa, Jeremiah, watch out. There's a speed bump. I hit that one. It was a doozy. We're going to bypass it. Okay. We're going to help fast track you and help you with all the things that we faced in our time here. Because we're not sitting here as experts, but we're sitting here as people that have experience that want to help you have success. I say this all the time. I heard it months ago and I say it every day. You can't compete with us because we want you to win too. And when you come into a community like that, where Ashley's not stabbing me in the back or pushing me because she's going to make money off of me, we're here collaborating and working together and doing things like this together. She sends me a newsletter. Hey, I sent this newsletter out and it had a great response. You can use it. Y'all, I could literally cry right now because I've never been a part of something where somebody else wanted to help me when they weren't benefiting off of me. That is huge in this space. You have one person in a community of over 50, I don't know where we're at now, over 53,000 people worldwide. One of them makes money off of you, whoever you decide to get started with. Okay. And that's it. The community gets that $39 because that community, that $39 keeps our community running. You have 24/7 tech support and everything there. It's such a breath of fresh air. I've never been a part of anything like this, and I credit so much of my success to the community, to the people that are in it, and the program. Like, I would not be here. I wouldn't be who I was if it wasn't for the program. All right, Ashley, do you want to get into the nitty gritty?
Yeah, y'all. Okay, so go ahead and drop it in the comments if you've thought of any questions so far. I'm gonna break down the prices because I know y'all are like, all right, I want it. Like, I want a taste of this. I want an extra 900 a month. I want an extra 5K a month. I want to know what your questions are so far. And I'm going to break this down for you, right? Like I told you that we have 4 different levels. You get to choose what the best fit for you is here, okay? This is not one size fits all. So I'm going to break it down, okay? We have a 100, we have a 300, we have a 600, and we have a $900 level. Any of these you can get started on a payment plan. You do not have to fork this over all at once. I feel like that is something I want you to know right away, right off the bat, okay? I know, you guys, my rent is $950. $900 is not pocket change, okay? But I'm going to break down so you know where is the best spot for you to start, okay? First of all, even at this $900 level, you can get started with Klarna for about $58 a month. With Afterpay, it's about $75 a month. Okay, we've got a couple different options with when it comes to payment plans that make that worthwhile. And the crazy thing is, like, even like for that $900 product, this is the coolest part. If you get started on a payment plan, you get instant access to it. That means you can get everything set up, you can get started on it, and you can make your first sale before your next payment is even due. And I've had people do that multiple times, which I love. So we have that 900. At that 900, I call that the big daddy. Okay. You get resale rights at that level to that $900 level and every level below it. So that gives you the ability to sell all 4 levels. All right. If, for example, you are like, I don't know, I'm going to play it safe, and you just come in at this 300, you now have the resale rights to that 300 and the 100. Okay. You cannot sell that 600 and that 900 because you did not get the resale rights to them. Does that make sense? Before I move on, does that make sense? Okay. The other piece that I want you to know is no matter which level you come in at, it's going to take the same 2 hours worth of work. You're still going to create 3 pieces of content. You're still going to watch the same exact training video. You're just going to be capped to whichever level you have the resale rights on. Okay. With that being said, obviously, again, taking the reference back to like as if you were going to go to college. I was in the like healthcare field, so I think of it as that, right? This 100, I think of it as like your CNA, and then your LPN, and then your RN, and then being a doctor. So the longer you're there, the more skills you're going to learn, which to me, I think is like, I needed that. I really needed that. I needed the most skills, the most education, because I was brand new to this space. So go ahead, you guys, drop any questions that you have. If anybody wants to unmute and ask your questions, feel free. And if you guys are already doing this, let's respect this time for people that have not yet started so that they can ask their questions. Really quick, I wanted to let you know, because these are like some frequently asked questions before I see any questions pop up. How do taxes work? That's something that people almost every time ask. It's super simple. You just get a 1099 at the end of the year. It's just a form. You take it to your tax preparer, and it's super simple. Okay. The same thing that like if you were an independent contractor with like Uber or DoorDash, or like even like your own self-employed like hairstylist or something. Okay. And then the other thing that I want you to know is how do upgrades work? So again, for example, if you started at this $300 level and you're like, all right, I don't want to be capped at $300. I want to make the big bucks. So you could upgrade for the difference, right? You wouldn't have to pay the full 900, but you would pay the admin fee to upgrade, okay? So whichever level you come in at, there's a one-time $39 admin fee. Each level has its own corresponding admin fee, okay? So if you start at the 100 and then you decide like you want to upgrade to the 900, you could pay the difference. So you'd pay the 800. But when you started here at this 100, you're going to pay that $39 admin fee, and then you're going to have to pay it again to upgrade. All right. The reason why is because your website is getting a facelift. You're now able to add well, then you'd be able to add all of the products to it. And you're getting access to the education. Okay. So I just want you to know that today we do something, we call it a webinar special. If you are on here right now, you're watching this, go back to the person that you purchased or that you got your invite from. If you're ready to purchase, if you get started at this $900 level, we are going to pay your admin fee, whoever invited you to this. Okay. And I want you guys to know that we do that because we believe in this. Okay. All right. All right. So does anyone have any specific questions? Feel free to raise your hand and unmute. Jeremiah, you're so funny. They are black. They're black and red at the same time. All right. So what questions do we have? If we don't have any, that's great. That's truly great too. I'm trying to think if we are missing anything. Oh, good one. You don't need an LLC. You absolutely can. I have one now. I didn't have one until I had been doing this probably, oh gosh, I want to say like 15 months already. Here's the thing about upset customers with this, how to protect yourself from upset customers. Truly, you're really, really protected by the fine print when they purchase from this. This is education. You cannot make anybody apply themselves. So somebody gets access to this. There's a box that they have to check, which makes it so that they can't get refunds from you. You're super protected from the very beginning. Is there certain times of the day to post or go live? Whatever works for you. Honestly, when I tell you, like, having this and the flexibility that comes with this, it's did I mute myself? My bad. But feel free to message whoever invited you, and that's it. All right, you guys, if you have, am I still muted? No, we're good. We're good now. Okay. Okay. I just saw a comment. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Have a good evening and let us know what questions you have.